Whether you're religious or not, I think the average American just forgets how close we came to the utter destruction of our civil society a few months ago.
Even more so now that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
All of this as Donald Trump just made a very big, surprising announcement that is going to have a lot of people in the bureaucratic deep state absolutely concerned. This, as I think his presidency is speaking to a lot of this new kind of Donald Trump. You saw not just his rhetoric, not just his cadence, but his larger overall kind of energetic frequency change right after this crazy moment a few months ago that literally brought us on the brink of civil war. We were just a few seconds away, few millimeters away from what I think a lot of people do not understand, a larger mega event that would have upended and changed all of our lives forever, permanently, all in the wrong direction, as it would have been the larger hijacking of our civil society by very powerful people that tried to prevent what is happening right now, and that are the larger accountability efforts that are finally now allowing the American people to realize just how hoodwinked, just how robbed, just how unfair of a system this entire rotten, corrupted swamp actually was, as Donald Trump's approval rating, by the way, keeps going up the more he keeps exposing just how government absolutely works. As now, just a couple hours ago, this shows you that Donald Trump took the gloves off. This shows you that we're dealing with a totally different man. As in 2016, let's be honest here, there was a lot of things that were worth criticizing Donald Trump on. This time around, it's been about 2 weeks. 2 weeks of absolutely crazy bombshell major moves that do highlight how he's not only a changed man, but he's a man that's on a mission to actually try to make America great. This is now he has just ordered the Secret Service to provide every bit of information on his would-be assassins. Yes, you heard that correct. Donald Trump now says he is entitled to know all the details surrounding these two major events, the most significant one in Butler, Pennsylvania, that almost took his life. As Donald Trump says, quote, "I want to find out about the two assassins. Why did one guy have 6 cell phones and why the other guy have foreign apps? Question mark. No more holding back because of Biden. I'm entitled to know, and they held it back long enough. No excuses." As we, of course, covered the larger cover-up effort here surrounding these two major events that now finally we will be shining a big light on that will have major ramifications. As, of course, there's a lot of foul play with these larger kind of assassination attempts, as we've been documenting them from the very beginning, highlighting how, oh, hold on there. Wait just a minute there. There's a reason why people believe it was actually elements within our own government that tried to pull this larger major move against him, as we detailed specifically. Hey, first they tried to censor him. That didn't work. They tried to destroy his name in the media. That didn't work. They tried to legally charge him and threaten him with jail. That didn't work. They convicted him. They were about to sentence him. That didn't work, and he was becoming more and more and more popular, and the last thing that they could have done was to, of course, take him out. We, as an independent media organization, were even telling people, their next step here is probably going to be a larger assassination attempt before the assassination attempt actually happened. Tim Pool said this, Alex Jones said this, a lot of other independent media were saying, hey, the trajectory of what's actually happening here is leading us to this larger, big galvanizing event where they are going to try to take his life. And that's exactly what happened here, as there are still some legitimate questions left unanswered about this larger event in Butler, Pennsylvania, including the other assassination attempt too. But again, we have clear, just quote, accidents, coincidences, and larger kind of actions that just cannot be explained. The Secret Service was literally arguing that, oh no, the roof was just too sloped. There couldn't be any people on that sloped roof, as there was even a slopier roof across the street. that Secret Service agents were on. Secret Service and police officers were literally using it as a control center, and the guy was able to get on the command center of this building and take multiple shots at Donald Trump, even though there were multiple warnings, multiple offenses, multiple suspicious actions by this man as he literally walked around. He flew a drone. He was like, "Yeah, I'll just fly a drone before the event. Secret Service is here. Hi, how's it going? Oh, I'm literally going to have a rangefinder. I'm just going to walk on in there. Oh, Secret Service and police officers are saying I'm a suspicious individual. Yeah, don't worry about it. He's just climbing the roof now." As people are like, "Hey, there's a guy on the roof," and everyone's like, "Yeah, right. Yeah, right," as there was a concerted effort to blame a lot of this on the Iranians, and a lot of this doesn't work. And I think Donald Trump now, especially with this latest action, is starting to realize there might be more foul play here than a lot of people believe there to be here in the kind of establishment line of thinking. As a lot of people are saying the quiet part out loud, the people that probably tried to take the life of Donald Trump are also probably the same people that have always been trying to stop him. And when Donald Trump now gets every bit of information, and again, whether it's going to be legitimate information or good information, this is going to have major, huge ramifications in our society. I mean, this attempt already changed Donald Trump. He had a very candid kind of admission here. And whenever you have a moment in your life where, you're very close to losing it, it does alter you. It does change you. I had a moment like that in my own personal life, and it has significantly changed me, especially from some of the things that I've been through in my personal life that I haven't really kind of shared or opened up about myself. But Donald Trump recently said this, and this is the real kind of takeaway here from all of this.
Honestly, it changed something in me. I feel even stronger. I believed in God, but I feel much more strongly about it. Something happened. So thank you. Thank you.
This is Donald Trump speaking about the attempted assassination that clearly would leave a lot of people kind of scarred, a lot of people scared, a lot of people questioning what in the world's going on here, as we still don't have any kind of legitimate answers, legitimate kind of motives to how it all unfolded, with a lot of people now just actively trying to blame a foreign country on all of this. I'm sorry, but Iran didn't make the Secret Service stand down, and I think a lot of people are realizing that, as there's going to be some bigger bombshells here that clearly are going to be disclosed here. And whether Donald Trump gets the exact evidence and proof or not, I think it's fair to say he's all coming to the same conclusion that a lot of us have come to, and I think he understands it. And the way that he's acting as president of the United States does make us feel that he is acting on this larger notion that there are criminal, sinister elements within the government that tried to take his life. And we're going to talk about some of the policy decisions that reflect this kind of new Donald Trump, but this Donald Trump that believes that there is a creator, that there is a God that saved him in order to put him in that position of power. And we could see the larger actions represented by his policies that do represent that. We'll talk about those policies in just a little bit. Before we do, we wanted to tell you about wearechange.shop. One of the best products that took me 2 years to research is, of course, takecalm.com. You go on wearechange.shop, or you just go to takecalm.com. It's one of my favorite products, as, of course, again, I don't like talking about this stuff, but I love this stuff for a very specific reason. A couple of years ago, when I was out of shape, not working out, had a poor diet, I had a lot of anxiety. I had crazy panic attacks. And one of the few things that helped me was these types of products, CBD. And again, this is full spectrum. It actually works. Some of the stuff out there on the markets are absolute crap. You don't want to get this at the gas station. You want to make sure you get it at good sources. And whenever I had kind of anxiety or panic attacks, this was one of the few things that helped me. Now, if you really want to deal with a lot of that stuff, I definitely recommend healing your gut. Once you heal your gut, you deal with a lot of that stuff. But in the meantime, I was in the process of trying to find answers, heal my gut, and not deal with this kind of crippling anxiety from the past kind of events that I covered on this channel that have created this kind of trauma. I saw a lot of crazy stuff throughout my reporting. Again, I've traveled all over the world. I covered crazy moments. I covered conflict zones. I don't want to talk about it, but it left me also kind of impacted here. And then you add that with poor diet, not exercising, and of course anxiety is something that of course takes common place here. One of the things that helped me was these products, and that's why I decided to do a ton of research. I did a bunch of research into this stuff. I found the best stuff on the market. This is it. It helps me. I give it to my mom. I give it to my friends who deal with similar problems. Luckily, right now, I don't deal with that issue, mainly because I was able to, fix a lot of the wrongs. But it's still helps me, and I still occasionally take it. So it's a great anti-inflammatory. It's a great product. I really enjoy it. I think you will too. A lot of the other stores sell it at a higher premium. And again, this is the type of stuff that I could charge hundreds of, $100+ for. We don't charge $100+. We actually gave it a fair price, competitively in the market, especially with how high grade, how good it is. And if you're dealing with some of the stuff, this stuff might help you. Do your own homework, do your own research, but also by getting it, you support this independent media network at the same time. TakeCalm.com. Check it out and support us while, of course, we do our best to provide you the best services, the best products out there, as I think these types of things are, more important than ever to help deal with the larger kind of issues that the majority of Americans are dealing. As I think now, a lot of Americans are having a sigh of relief with Donald Trump as the president of the United States, as, again, we came so close towards losing it all, losing this country, losing our civil society. And now Donald Trump, with this new kind of understanding, with him now coming to the larger conclusions like, hey, this deep state is far more sinister, far more evil, and I need to take action against it. And I think he is. I think he specifically is, by making the moves to revoke a lot of national security clearances for a lot of the people who have abused their positions of power. He took it away from Joe Biden. He's going to be taking it away from a lot of other people that have lied to the American people. He's taken it away from all the intel agencies that told us that the Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian collusion, which of course it wasn't. You can see through his foreign policy, he is actually trying to achieve peace here, as VigilanteNews.com also highlights how Trump is signaling that there will be no war with Iran, and there are now open, active negotiations with Iran trying to bring up a larger peace deal inside of the Middle East that, of course, would ease tensions there. Now, another major hallmarker of him being kind of affected here by this larger moment in his life where he almost lost it is the larger kind of negotiations that are currently underway right now in Ukraine, where Volodymyr Zelensky now, for the first time in a long time, said, yeah, I'm actually willing to sit down and negotiate with Putin. He previously said he would never do that. He's like, yeah, I'm okay even with paying back the United States with some of our rare earth minerals for all the help that he's gotten. Zelensky also came out and said, yeah, we got about allegedly $170 billion from the United States. We only got about like $100 billion of that, highlighting how there's another $70 to $100 billion that just went missing. Again, snitching at the previous administration for dipping their hand in the cookie jar and taking some for themselves, while screwing over the people of Ukraine, screwing over the American people. And Donald Trump's, leadership, especially when it comes to these larger negotiations, is a major hallmarker of someone who does truly want the war to end, who wants a peace deal and wants the best for the United States. You don't try to end wars if you're a globalist puppet. You try to start them, and many presidents always have. Now, this is a larger signal towards a larger kind of restitution, a larger kind of peace, a larger end to the human sacrifice that has plagued this world, as these wars are pointless, they are evil, they are demonic. And if you truly believe you're doing God's call and you're answering it, you are going to try to bring peace to this world. And that's why I think Donald Trump is doing it. I think he legitimately does believe that there is some kind of godlike intervention, because how else could you explain him literally tilting his head, and that right there, that little moment, saving us from a total hijacking of our institutions? He is one of the last few vessels of populism, of individuals saying, hey, I actually want something to be done here for the people. I don't want our people to get screwed over. I don't want our people to get milked. I don't want our people to get robbed. He's the one saying, you know what? I'm actually going to stop all that. He is. The stuff that he's doing with Deutsch, the stuff that he's doing with, foreign policy. Some of it, again, it isn't perfect. Some of it we criticized, especially the larger kind of plan here for Gaza, which, again, we don't see the full plan, but overall, yeah, not the best thing. But when it comes to stopping conflicts, he also was the guy who negotiated the peace deal and forced Bibi to make this deal. Bibi didn't make this deal with Joe Biden. Bibi didn't want to make this deal, and according to many sources, Bibi was forced to make this deal and end the larger kind of military actions inside of Gaza because of Donald Trump. Now, what's going to be his larger kind of plan here, or is he just kind of using this as a larger negotiation ploy for a bigger peace deal, as he's also literally talking about getting rid of all nuclear weapons on the face of this earth? Literally, Donald Trump, specifically when he was campaigning, and now again is saying, I want to make sure that all nuclear weapons are going to, of course, not exist any longer. Not just in the United States, but in Russia, in China, in Iran, in Israel, and all these other countries, the UK. He's talking about a worldwide denuclearization, which I don't know about you guys. I don't know but if there ever is a kind of divine intervention, with how close we came to the brink of just an apocalyptic-like society with this kind of crazy back and forth war that the Western society has been involved inside of Ukraine. When we look at how close we came during the Cold War, how close we came during this larger Ukraine conflict towards the utter destruction of all of the world, Donald Trump actually calling for this and negotiating for this and moving forward with this does highlight that he does believe he is on a mission to, quote, save the world. And if there ever was a world and a country worth saving, I think it's the United States. I think it is more than ever an opportune time to call out some of just the absolute evil that has hijacked this government, this country, and its people. And if Donald Trump believes he has a connection with God, the divine, in order to do so, at least he's doing it, I believe, in the right way. Do you think I'm wrong? Let me know, because I know this is kind of a grandiose statement to make here. I know some people are going to be very triggered by this, but it's okay. Let's have that discussion here, as I think once Donald Trump gets all the information, once he sees how the FBI was stonewalling larger pieces of information that they didn't want to give to all the investigators here, specifically when it came to his assassins. I think when Donald Trump realizes, holy crap, it was Google, it was Facebook that were censoring that this even happened, as of course they censored those iconic images of Donald Trump. They censored the news stories. When he kind of correlates the picture of how the corporate media, big tech, social media, the intel agencies, the FBI were all kind of working, colluding against him and trying to actually even just make people realize the larger kind of huge notion of this. I think he has realized it, and I think that's why he's on the pathway that he is on right now, and I think that's why we are living in one of the most craziest, most insane timelines ever. If you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. What do you think of Trump's statements? What do you think of my statements about this? Do you think I'm correct? Let me know. Let's start the conversation down in the description below. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.